Afternoon. So it has been suggested to me that I should do a post on every one of the phytotherapy by the milligram products, explaining what they are, what the ingredients are, and what the benefits are. And I thought, oh, that sounds like a lot of work, but I'll do it. So the first one I'm going to do is neural growth. And the reason I'm doing neural growth is A, it is very, very important, and B, it's only got 2 ingredients. So, neural growth is available as a totem. What is a totem? Let's start at the beginning. It's actually starting at the end, but what is a totem? Well, a totem is very simple. A totem is whole plant. Now, this is where it gets confusing. Whole plant doesn't necessarily mean we use the whole plant. Whole plant means that all that is there is plant material. So, all of the beneficials are still locked into the plant, or the plant material, okay? Now, that plant material can be prepared in a number of ways. We could macerate it, we can dry it, we can effectively charcoal it. But there's lots and lots of things we can do to prepare the plant material to go into a totem. The most common one is drying. Now, the drying can be lots and lots of different ways. It can be desiccation, it can be air dried, it can be sun dried. There's lots and lots of, depending on the plant material, depending on what we want. So it's very complex in terms of knowing which bit of the beneficials you want to boost up in the plant material. So what is in neural growth? Well, the dominant product in there is lion's mane. Now, you may have heard lots and lots about lion's mane. So what is lion's mane? Well, number one, lion's mane is a mushroom. And we cultivate them, and they're fab. Unfortunately, at the moment, I haven't got any fresh ones because, as you saw in a video a few days ago, we'd actually just dried a massive amount of them, as we did with the shiitakes. So what I've done is I've pulled out one of our dry ones from the drying racks. So, why is lion's mane important? Well, lion's mane as a mushroom is nootropic and it's an adaptogen, okay? Now, I'm not going to do a whole science lesson into that, but you need to know it's really good. So what are the benefits of lion's mane and what does a lion's mane look like? Well, this is what it looks like when it's dried. That's a lion's mane. Never get over the smell of lion's mane. It is amazing. So what do we do with lion's mane? Well, that's now dried. So what we then do is we mill it. Okay, so we finely mill it. And what we end up with is that. Okay, so that's milled lion's mane. Okay, 100% lion's mane. So cultivated in-house, dried in-house, milled in-house. Okay, so here are the benefits of lion's mane. I'm going to try and get through this. Because, you know, they're gonna, when I get into ones where I've got 12 ingredients in, boy oh boy, you might want to sit down with a cup of tea. Anyway, let me just run through some very quick highlight points. Stimulates nerve growth. Okay, massively important. Hence the name, neural growth. It improves memory recall. So as you're getting a little bit older, it improves memory creation. So important for people that have had neural episodes or are just generally sort of getting through that stage of life now where you get a bit forgetful, and memory creation is as important as memory recall. Okay? So, memory creation. It protects the brain cells, and it protects the brain cells in lots and lots of complex ways. Remember, this is an adaptogen and a nootropic. So, this will protect the brain cells itself. Now, why do we want that protection? We want that protection in case of a sort of, you know, if you're looking at a stroke, a cardiac event, a trauma, head trauma, all those things. The more energy and the more that brain cell is like firing on all cylinders, the more you need that protection. And that's exactly what lion's mane. Lion's mane is one of a number of mushrooms that gives almost the same benefits, but lion's mane is out there on its own. So it protects the brain cell. It improves, and now you've heard this before, T cell. It improves T cell activity, and that will boost the immune system. So again, as you're getting older, everybody needs their immune systems boosted. And people that have been ill, recently or are ill at the moment, then you want this, okay? So it is going to improve your T-cell activity. Okay, what are the other things? It's anti-inflammatory. Lots of things are healthy, anti-inflammatory. It promotes a healthy gut. Really works on your flora and your fauna, okay? It protects your liver because it decreases serum enzymes. Really important. So, if you've battered your liver for years and years and years and years and years, then lion's mane's really good for you. It also treats and prevents neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, dementia, all of these things, lion's mane. It's an adaptogen. Okay, so that's the lion's mane. Okay, so that goes into totem. Keeping up? So this is neural growth. Okay, what's the other ingredient? Well, the other ingredient is this. What's that? Well, that is CBD in its isolated form. I very rarely get myself involved in isolated compounds because it's very difficult to do. It's a lot of lab time. But CBD is one of those exceptions. So, CBD. You've heard loads and loads of things about CBD. CBD comes from, so it's a cannabinoid. It's not the big cannabinoid at the top. That's CBGA. Okay? So, it's called a secondary rather than a primary cannabinoid. Although everybody thinks that cannabinoids is just CBD. No. I can take you through the whole myriad of cannabinoids. But what you need to know is CBD is really good because it's a bit like, I don't know, it's broad spectrum. It does a lot of things, whereas other cannabinoids are very specific to what they do, okay? So, what is CBD good for? Well, here we go again. This is where the synergistic beneficial relationships work. So, it limits neurological damage from strokes or trauma. Remember what I was saying about the lion's mane, okay? And isn't lion's mane interesting? Doesn't that look like a little brain? Look, a little cerebral cortex there. Nature's very clever. So, it limits neurological damage from a stroke or trauma. Now remember, with the lion's mane, you've already given your brain cells that protection. You've already stimulated your nerve growth. So in the event of a stroke or trauma, you're getting two things coming together and going boom. The same as lion's mane, it's also treatment for neurodegenerative diseases like Parkinson's and dementia. It reduces neural inflammation. That is really important, okay? So in the event of a neural condition, then it reduces the swelling. That's where the CBD comes into its own. It stimulates and supports the brain's intrinsic repair mechanisms. Imagine these two things coming together. There's a reason I call it neural growth. Okay, what else? It's got anti-cancer properties, mainly in CBD, which is why we've got this isolated CBD in here. Also, what's CBD good for? It actually reduces the side effects of other cancer treatments. Those are non-natural cancer treatments. So it reduces that. It will actually alleviate anxiety, depression, insomnia, mood disorders in cancer patients. Because you imagine the hormonal journey that your body's going on and the bombardment that your cells are getting. Wouldn't it be great to have this? Because CBD is non-toxic and it's therapeutic. So therefore it's perfect for people that are undergoing or are post-operative treatments. So that's it. 9 minutes long. And it's only got 2 ingredients. So hopefully that's covered what a totem is. It's covered that we do it all in-house. Neural growth. Phytotherapy by the milligram. Okay? Vibrations up. Live life. Love nature.